the mothers and fathers who worry about their sons and daughters as they serve overseas. I belong to an organization called the Navy League of the United States. And this organization supports particularly the Navy and Marines and maritime services throughout the United States. In our organization, the Pittsburgh chapter, we have a sub-organization called the Pittsburgh Navy Relief Crew. And this organization particularly supports the USS Pittsburgh, SSN 720. As Mr. Holmes said, it's a Los Angeles class submarine, and we're very proud of it. USS Pittsburgh was adopted officially by the city of Pittsburgh. And when I came to Mr. Homer last year, I said, I don't really believe that I'm aware that any school district has ever adopted a submarine. Could we do that? Could we help them? And he said, of course we could. And I said, well, how about if we try to raise some money, and I'll personally donate. We'll have a challenge. I'll donate 25 cents for every dollar that you can raise. And he said, well, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this could, okay, maybe it's going to cost me $100, $125. I was astounded that you raised $2,000, for the benefit of the dependents of the USS Pittsburgh. Congratulations. Each year we have a golf outing that helps support this cause as well. And your contribution of $2,000 and mine of $500 helped dramatically increase the benefits that we were able to provide to those sailors and their dependents. $1,500 of your money went to 3 scholarships for the crew members and dependents of crew members of the USS Pittsburgh. And $1,000 was contributed to the Christmas party fund for the children of sailors of the USS Pittsburgh. Each year they're gone on deployment sometimes as long as 6 months at a time. And you're going to see a short video here in a moment or two that shows a lot of things happen while they're on deployment. Their wives have babies, they struggle with financial issues, and we try to make that period of when they're on deployment a little bit better by helping out with the kids. And you went a long way to making that a reality. So thank you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the ship's name, USS Pittsburgh. I'm going to show you a little bit video of the Los Angeles class submarine. We're going to show you a short visit of the homecoming from USS Pittsburgh on our last deployment. There were 3 ships named USS Pittsburgh. The first was an ironclad gunboat commissioned in 1862 and served in the Civil War. The second was an armored cruiser launched in 1903 and was originally laid down as the USS Pennsylvania. She was decommissioned after World War II and recommissioned in 1951 through 1956, served during the Korean War. And finally, the USS Pittsburgh, SSN 720, commissioned in 1985. She's active in the Iraq War, and I believe she was the first, if I'm not mistaken, to fire a cruise missile, at the Iraqi forces during that war. She's 362 feet long, approximately 6,000 tons, carries about 130 men. Has an array of weapon systems, including, all the best weapons that are available, Mark 48 torpedoes and Tomahawk cruise missiles that everyone hopes that never gets used. It's an amazing ship. It's an amazing crew. And I'm going to introduce a motion at our next meeting formally adopting USS Pittsburgh as part of Ringgold. So with that, if we could show our first video. A little bit more introductions first. I have with us John Caspero, who's president of the Pittsburgh Relief Crew, Division of the United States. We have Commander Pennington from the U.S. Naval Recruiting Office. We have one of your own, Petty Officer Chief T.J. Nagy, a 1998 Ringgold grad, also part of the recruiting district in Pittsburgh, and they'll have a few words as well. First video.
Warm homecoming tonight. More than 200 sailors are back in Connecticut after 6 months at sea. Tonight, the USS Annapolis and the USS Pittsburgh are back here in Connecticut. The attack subs traveled more than 29,000 miles away.
The subs stopped in Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Spain. And tonight, News 18 Detail says the sailors on board are very happy to finally be back home.
Even before the USS Annapolis reaches awaiting families, many along the banks of the Thames River welcome it home.
When we were crossing the bridge, we noticed that there was a submarine coming in and saw them on deck.
Jeff Costin had one of the best views, but Emily Scotia may have the most enviable position, the first kiss.
Almost started crying as soon as I saw it come around the corner there.
She expects her husband will shed some tears too when he meets little Grayson for the first time. 5 babies were born during the 6-month deployment.
I did cry. I'm a baby though. I can't speak.
I think the sacrifice is shared between us and our families.
Commander John Gearhart led the crew on its 31,000-mile mission, which brought it to ports from Bahrain to Greece. Here at home, his duties continue. Make my bed.
Things that my mom wanted to do with me. Oh, and we're getting a new dog.
These scenes will be repeated this afternoon when the USS Pittsburgh pulls into port. There are 6 new daddies on that boat. More happy homecomings.
You know she's born, and I know when I left she was pregnant, but opportunity to hold her for the first time kind of becomes reality, so it's very nice.
And more firsts for these dads. In Groton.
It's awesome. It's amazing.
Tina Dittel, News 8.
That same day in Groton, Connecticut, the USS Annapolis and the USS Pittsburgh. I just want to say thank you again. Hopefully from the videos you can see what these sailors go through on a daily basis, and more importantly what their dependents go through as well. I'd like to turn it over to John Caspero, who just has a thank you message from the crew itself.
Good morning. I'm what we call commanding officer of the relief crew. It's a civilian organization, but we try to help the families of the submarine Last year they left they left Groton, Connecticut, about the 28th, 29th of December, and they got home the second week of June. They changed commanding officers. There was a change of command at the end of July. And at that time, they gave me a scrapbook. And I just want to read excerpts from the first page to show you and thank you for the fundraising that you did for them. As Mr. Stein said, some of the money was used for the Christmas party, some of the money was used for scholarships. To the Pittsburgh Relief Crew. Can you love people you've never met? The answer is yes. The blind support and the outpouring of love for the relief crew has shown the families of the USS Pittsburgh that there is a love that will never be forgotten or taken for granted. Therefore, we are burdened with the question, how can we thank you for everything you've done for us? The answer is we can't. We can never repay you for what you've done, but as you turn through the pages of this book, know that your love for us filled our souls on every page. You were there with us when we celebrated our halfway night, which marked our halfway mark of deployment. When we walked for the fight against breast cancer, we carried you in our hearts. Walking stride for stride, you were there with us on the pier at the homecoming, waving our flags, cheering and welcoming our sailors home. Did you feel the love? You will forever be in our hearts. With warmest regards, and it's the two wives that are co-chairs of what they call the Fleet Readiness Group, frogs. So thank you, one and all, and I have a couple little thank yous to give to your principal, Mr. Drummond. Another thing that's more generic or more common to the school is an autographed picture of the sub. Maybe can be hung in one of your passageways. And Mr. Stein, we have a similar thing for you for really kicking this all off. Turn this over to Commander Pennington from the Navy Recruiting District. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you very much. Just want to take a minute and do more than that. Thank you all for all the hard work. Having been a sailor on a submarine, I've been deployed several times. Spent over a year of my life underwater. I can't tell you how much it means to the crew for you all to provide that support to their families. The biggest hardship we have when we're underway isn't the hard work. I mean, we work 18, 20 hours a day. And we can do all that because we got nothing else to do out there, frankly. But what weighs heavily on our minds is how our families are doing, because we can't be there for them. But when people like you support us in the way you have, it really does mean a lot, especially when our sons and daughters can have that kind of support for a Christmas party. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for all your support. And I just wanted to again say thanks. One of the things that came up earlier was, any of you all had any questions about the submarine itself, the USS Pittsburgh? Anything out there at all? Nothing? All right. Well, without any further ado, again, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Again, gentlemen, thank you very much. And as we got started on this last year, I believe it was probably in October or November, we got this kind of kicked off. So $2,500 really, I know we can probably do a lot better, and we will. We'll make sure that this becomes something that we're doing here on a regular basis. So, but to clarify something, are we still on for 25 cents for every dollar we raise? Was that a one-time thing? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later, evidently. Okay, you got. Thank you very much, sir. We have that commitment. So let's give these gentlemen a round of applause.